if you don't know already, for this video I tried doing a poll where I asked you guys what 2 Arctic Fox dyes you'd like to see mixed together based off of dyes that I have already. And oh my gosh, I think, you know, it was fun and I would do it again, but I think next time I will lower the options down by a lot because there were so many that ended up tying in the end. I thought maybe there'd be like 2 where everyone wants me to mix them together, but definitely not. It was very, very all over the place. There had to be at least 3 that were tied together. So I also did a separate poll on my Patreon, and I wanted to kind of have Patreon hold a little bit more weight. So I decided to go with Patreon one, and that is Ritual and Girls Night mixed together. For my mix videos, I like to keep the swatch range a little bit more simple. 1 is black, 8 is platinum blonde, and then 9 is like the toned version of number 8. On my other mix videos, I would do the center being equal parts. But Ritual is a lot darker than Girls Night, and so there's no way I could do equal parts without it not working, basically. So I think I'm gonna start at the top this time and go down. The top will have more Ritual, and the bottom will have more Girls Night mixed in, and then the center will be kind of like a happy medium. And I'm also not really sure if I'm gonna have exact measurements for this video because the amount of Girls Night versus Ritual, like I don't think I'm gonna need very much Ritual at all versus Girls Night, but I'll let you know as I go. Okay, so I can already tell the way that I measure these out is gonna be so inaccurate and not very good. I started out with 1/4 teaspoon of Girls Night, and I have 3 separate ones in my bowl. I'm going to add one like dip of my brush into Ritual. So this, and I'm gonna add it to one of the little scoops. 2 dips of my brush for the next one. And then for the last one, I'm gonna do 3 dips into the Ritual and mix it in. Okay, so this is gonna be the one here that has the most Ritual. This is kind of like a happy medium, and this is more Girls Night. So at the top, we're gonna start with the one that has a little bit more Ritual in it versus Girls Night. So that was the one with more Ritual. So now in the center will be kind of the happy medium between Girls Night and Ritual. And now the end with more Girls Night, a lot more Girls Night than Ritual. Okay, I'm gonna let these sit for an hour. I will rinse them out, and then when they are dry, I will meet you back here. Since Girls Night is such a light dye, the ends didn't really dye very much on the darker swatches, and even in the center, you can see it on the darker swatches, but it's not that apparent. The top one is the one that did the most, which would make sense because there was more ritual than Girls Night. I think I'm gonna get right into comparisons. So first, I want to do ritual. So this would be comparable to number 9. You can already see there's a lot less purple in the ritual by itself. Comparable to number 8, 7, and 6. So basically what I'm getting out of this is if you want ritual to not be as red, you can use Girls Night to make it a little bit more of that like berry purple. Ritual by itself is also a lot darker. Even though my measurements weren't the best, there's still a lot of Girls Night in the top swatches, and it's just a little bit of ritual. So it tells you that ritual is a very pigmented dye. If you're wondering what Girls Night looks like by itself, it is very pastel. Some people were saying in my Girls Night video that it looks a lot more intense on their hair, so keep that in mind. If you have a little bit more porous hair, it'll probably look different, but this is Girls Night. It would be comparable to number 9. Even on the end, it's a lot more pink thanks to ritual. And this would be comparable to number 8. So it's pretty different. Just for reference, I'll put a little bit more down for the swatches. So this is comparable to number 5, 4, and 3. Like I said, the Girls Night isn't that pigmented, so as you get darker, you can tell the ritual kind of takes over in the mixed portion. But if you have darker hair, I would suggest using ritual by itself because number 3 and number 4, it's not that visible versus number 9 and 8. One of my previous videos, I mixed together Arctic Fox's Virgin Pink with their Periwinkle. So I thought I'd compare that a little bit. The end, this is mostly Periwinkle with a little bit of Virgin Pink on the end. It's not like crazy similar, but enough to where I wanted to compare them. So I actually think that the ends match a lot better for 7 and 8 than it does for 9. Something to do with it being toned, I'm sure. I think the 8s look super similar on the bottom. It's really interesting. But then obviously as you go up, adding more Virgin Pink, it becomes a totally different color. And lastly, I wanted to compare these to Special Effects in Burgundy Wine. I don't think these are super similar either, but when you hear the word Burgundy wine, it makes you think like colors like this, so I just thought it would be a good one to compare it with. So this is number 9, 8, and 7. Clearly a ton of pink in the Burgundy wine, and that one was actually one that I discovered I think was more meant for darker hair, because on the darker swatches it definitely gave much more of a burgundy look. This would be comparable to number 3 and number 2. You can really see the burgundy come out in the Burgundy wine one, but because the ritual is mixed with the Girls Night, it's not as apparent on the number 2 and 3 for that one. And this is comparable to number 4. I really enjoy comparing the swatches because it's fun to see like what looks similar and what doesn't, because in your head sometimes you imagine something different. Alright, so now that we've seen everything together and compared, let's get into the close-ups. you have any requests, I do have a little Google form you can fill out down below. It'll send the request directly to me. I hope this video helped, and I hope to see you in the next one.